pointed out, they have 2 losses with the hero. Are they really going to go again themselves? I don't think so, but
it's just if it's there,
yeah.
You know, it's like if you're not going to ban it, do you have to pick it to deny playing against it?
Exactly, that's the idea, right?
Yeah,
it's almost like a ban in that sense, and like I feel like that is more just coincidence than anything. I don't think that they're playing it bad. Going back to that, it just happens to be their 2 losses have been with that hero. So the Necrophos ban, it wouldn't be the most surprising thing to me. However, if they happen to open a Phoenix here,
there it is.
We're going to see a Mirage Ogre Magi.
This funky chicken is driving me crazy.
This is a great hero. You should start playing it.
No, it's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just prejudiced from solo queue because you need coordination to use Phoenix, and there's none of that.
I just land all your fire spirits. Just make sure you get those down. Put your egg down.
You can coach me.
All right, let's do it. We'll do it to stream sometime. I'm just going to yell at you the entire time. Fair warning, though.
Yeah, no one will torture you in DotA ever again if you do that.
Are you talking to Battle Cup champion Richard over there?
Ooh.
Level 3.
Wow. Wow. No, Phoenix is just such a great hero, right? Because you've got that, the Fire Spirits are really good for harassment in lane. You've also got the capability of, having that heal eventually with the Sunray. We've seen a lot of really nice plays. In fact, Milan did some in, maybe not the last game, but in a couple of the others as well. And plus, you've got that giant team fight ulti. They're really placing a lot of value on a lot of these supports that can provide a big team fight here. Although, you get the Ogre Magi pickup, that Bloodlust, and of course the Ignite, or rather the Fire Blast is just so good right now because of that buff that they did to the multicast.
I'm almost surprised they're taking this long, honestly. They end up going the Ogre, where's the Mirana,
right?
That's the opening they went last game, and obviously it worked out very well for them. It's the obvious answer, so if they eventually get to it, I don't know if they just were looking at their phones or something, with a little AFK right there, but...
building the anticipation, right?
Yeah, and then straight into Phantom Lancer over on Team Serenity, so...
Oh, are we going to see a Disco Goat, do you think?
AKA Leshrac.
Are we going to see a... Sorry, I'm so used to calling it
They just call it the Disco Goat.
Are we going to see a Leshrac, though? Because that
is
like one of the big things that comes...
Did you come up with that?
No. He's got a taunt that's actually Disco.
Oh,
dances around, has a good time.
He's a fancy pony, man.
Right.
But yeah, as you're getting at, of course, against Phantom Lancer, the Leshrac, we have seen that several times. Now, the idea... You usually would prefer that to be more of a core. You don't want to necessarily force it, but that's an option. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see it banned here by Serenity with that 5th ban, but they ban out Axe for now, which is definitely another good counter against Phantom Lancer. Of course, with those Berserker calls into the counter helix. So
there's just not many heroes right now that really, I mean, I was talking about this with Bowie in a couple of my casts, right? That the Phantom Lancer doesn't have a lot of really good counters that are in the meta right now. So it's been fairly difficult to find what you need to get on that hero.
Take out the Centaur themselves.
Yeah.
5th ban for J.Storm.
They get some pretty good bans, but predictable ones. From Serenity.
So it's going to be Storm having the 3rd pick at this point. As far as support options goes, yeah, you're dealing with the Phantom Lancer over there. Something brings a little more locked up. I mean, Winter Wyvern is still there. Actually, that's definitely noticeable. They banned Treant Protector, but Wyvern against PL in that matchup, and it is a great setup for Mirana, as we've already seen. So it would allow either Ogre to be an off lane or, that bully support perhaps in the off lane, or he gets that Wyvern up there as that support as well. So
could also see, I mean, we only saw it once in the tournament, and it didn't do super well, right, Breaky? We saw the Legion Commander. Legion Commander does have, a pretty good kit to kind of deal with the Phantom Lancer, but again, it's not super popular right now. It's not incredibly strong, but there you go, Breaky. There's your Winter Wyvern.
Yeah, you actually, that's 2 now. You got your bad, you got the
Winter
Wyvern.
I'm getting this panel thing down. All right, let's see how I continue now. No, the Legion Commander, it may be a little bit riskier of a pick at this point.
Yeah.
I do think the Wyvern ultimately will be enough of an answer of sorts against the Phantom Lancer. And the other thing with the Legion Commander, too, yes, good counter in a sense against the PL, but at the same time, you want to make sure he has something where the press the attack is really useful against for that purge. Right now, it's not necessarily, it could get to that point, but again, at this point, I would expect it to be perhaps, well, they have been running Mirana more in the safe lane, haven't they?
Yeah.
Actually, so maybe they are still looking for that off lane. But as far as Serenity goes, the PL Phoenix opening, I wonder how they've been running that at Milan, I want to say, as their position 4 support.
Yeah, the Phoenix has been Milan for most of these.
So if that's the case, Bane is not there. It's taken away.
There's a lot of discussion going on over there right now.
I mean, this could be the make it or break it point, right?
Yeah,
so you need that discussion.
sure on Serenity's part. Obviously, they're thinking about this quite a bit.
Yeah.
They definitely got to be getting down there at bonus time. I know it's in essence. Fortunately, you can't see it too well, but understandable, you know, being that third pick, the swing pick.
Ooh,
We haven't seen a lot of Earthshaker this event, but good against kind of, you know, more lockdown, but at the same time, Mirana has the ability to leap over it. You have the Arctic Burn from Winter Wyvern to fly over it as well. So Earthshaker's give and take hero for me here. Not really sold on it from Serenity, but
we've seen a lot of it actually when I was doing the NA qualifiers for ESL in Hamburg. That was getting picked up fairly commonly with the Mirana too, because it's good setup, right? Because you can throw out that fissure or the enchant totem, get them down, follow up with an arrow. This gives them some nice team fight though. You've got the Phoenix eggs, then you're also going to have the Earthshaker, so you've got two different methods now of being able to get that initiation, which seems pretty nice. They have to be very careful though, because Winter Wyvern, you know, these curses could be a huge problem for them. But you know, I like the pick. I think that's good. I know this too, that J.Storm actually banded out that the Treant Protector, right? Treant Protector has been being run at NA, especially with the Phoenix, because it's just incredible if you get that overgrowth with the egg. So, you know, they did manage to take that out. They need something else to kind of fit around with a little bit of that team fight. I'm okay with the Earthshaker.
okay. There's the Timber Saw. I was going to say Lifestealer seems like it could be okay here right now for J.Storm. Pretty good overall against Serenity, especially if you build out Radiance against the PL. The Rage would be very useful against Earthshaker and Phoenix. I believe they ran it in the earlier series, if I'm not mistaken. This is a team that has been picking up Lifestealer a couple of times, but they've also been picking up that Timber Saw. We just saw the previous game. To be fair, I think the Timber Saw did okay in the hands of Forev. However, here, that's right. I got mixed up earlier. So Mirana probably going to be on Forev, actually, and this will be a Moo Timber Saw. There's that Leshrac, but it's not in J.Storm's hands. It's actually on Serenity's side.
I mean, we saw ZYD do just like amazing with this earlier, right? Because he had a difficult time in the actual lane, but over time he just was able to find that farm, find the opening, and just start taking towers and fights with his team, and he did quite well with it, so.
Just looking at the draft here, because obviously I'm not the best in sort of theory crafting, so I'll just ask you, Team Serenity have obviously banned away a lot of traditional counters to the Phantom Lancer and got the Leshrac, who's been the go-to kind of counter for dealing with it here. Are J.Storm in trouble here of not being able to deal with that Phantom Lancer, or do they have answers?
Good answers.
Well, the Winter Wyvern already, as we talked about. I do think Timber Saw is that interesting in that matchup, right? Where, yes, between his Chakram and top of the Whirling Blade, he has great AoE, but at the same time, Phantom Lancer has trouble dealing or can't get through Timber Saw with the Diffusal Blade specifically, burns all that mana, and all of a sudden Timber Saw can't get away due to the lack of mana. So I would lean towards Timber Saw overall better in that matchup for that purpose, but it's not like it's a free matchup by any means for Timber Saw either. But yeah, the reactive armor will add up too, so I definitely would give it in favor of Timber Saw at that point. So I do think they have the ways to deal with the PL. Leshrac though, logic there. Again, speaking of Timber Saw, as tanky as he can get, you have a lot of magic damage now to help get through that between his abilities, so I would assume that's the logic there. Probably going to end up being more of that core Leshrac, as you were pointing out, ZYD on the mid lane. Very likely. Whoa.
We got a Lich.
Oh, I'm now happy about that. I'm happy.
You're happy to see a
Why
Lich?
not?
Yeah, well, because
who does that?
He does, apparently.
Lich was so maligned when he had that patch where obviously the denials were so strong with the sacrifice.
Okay.
Yeah. I was a dirty Lich spammer. So yeah, big fan. First hero I ever played in Dota 2.
Oh, okay. All right, so you got a bit of history with the Lich.
Yeah.
All right.
I honestly still like the Lifestealer, by the way. I feel like, especially against now the Leshrac, you know, that Rage would still be great. I don't think the Lich necessarily changes that. The armor is sure a little bit annoying, but again, with the Radiance build on top of his Infest Bombs, with getting inside of Mirana or Timber Saw.
That's going to be the Brile hero, right?
See, that's the thing.
Because I'm pretty sure that Forev wants that Mirana, right?
Ember Spirit, is he still there? Ember is good. And I don't say that because of Brile, but again, against the PL.
No, agreed. Oh, yes.
We get to see an Invoker
Yes,
finally.
I've been wanting to see an Invoker all day, and I get to see it.
So we get to see the Brile
we got a
Invoker,
Carl.
which is a similar idea with all that, especially if he goes to Quas Wex build.
Absolutely.
A lot of control to deal with the Phantom Lancer. The Purge is going to be great this game. I like it.
Yeah, well, tell us a bit more about it then, because obviously the question I usually ask at this point is who won the draft. But let's just talk about that Invoker. It's the first time I think we've seen an Invoker certainly on the desk in the tournament. So why is Invoker a good pick here?
I mean, you've just got, especially if you go Quas Wex, you've got the Tornado, you've got ways to dispel things, you've got ways to kind of interrupt all of these fights. He's a good laner as well. I really enjoy the hero, and I think it's a pretty good solution to, you know, some of the stuff that they're throwing out here. What do you
It's
think?
another help against the Phantom Lancer that you're getting at Richard. So they already had answers, but you can never have too many, especially against a core PL, I feel like. However, I will say this. If they try to match up PL against Invoker in the laning phase, that's where it could be difficult for Invoker. So I wonder if we're going to see Serenity look to do that, set up that matchup. I'm blanking on exactly the other heroes and how they could shape it up, but that'll be interesting to look out for. But overall, I mean, they have the answers to the Phantom Lancer. That Lich, I'm still a little bit curious about, too.
Yeah, so why are you guys
Serenity.
curious about the Lich?
Just not your everyday. Also, is it going to be, I assume it's going to be a support Lich, and if that's the case,
God, I hope it's not a core Lich.
is it going to be a core Earthshaker then at that point? I mean, because it's either that or a Phoenix, right? So
You might
between
see
those two.
the Earthshaker. I mean, we can't see what's going on just right now
Yeah.
about it. But yeah, no, Lich is just, he's not super, super popular. Do have the ice armor, which is pretty nice. And you've got sacrifice and whatnot, but just not super impressed with that pickup. But that being said, you never know, right?
Yeah, well, look, we're getting closer to the game, so I'll just ask you, are we going to get Serenity winning this one, or are we going to go the full distance? What do you think?
I think I'm gonna go with J.Storm this time.
Yeah?
I'm really liking that
You
Invoker
like that
pick.
draft?
You know me, going J.Storm.
All right,
Breaky?
Yeah, J.Storm all the way for me, at least in game 2. We'll see you again soon.
go
All
Brile
right, well,
Invoker.
again, we're ready to find out if you are right. We're going to throw back over to our commentators. It's Cap and Lyrical. Take it away, guys.
Thank you very much, Richard. And yes, we are into what could potentially be the final game of the WSOE #1. Cap, you've been calling for it all freaking tournament. You've been saying Brile Invoker, Brile Invoker. It's finally here.
It is finally here. Don't know if it solves all the problems.
Okay.
I felt pretty good about J.Storm and their lineup in game 1. I don't feel as good in game 2, and honestly, I think Serenity, like going in their first 4 picks, I think they're pretty happy where they were at, and all they needed to do was just secure themselves a stronger laning phase, and the Lich is going to be able to do that for you. I don't know. I actually still really like. They have the team fight. They have this Phantom Lancer carry. They have like a really strong hard initiation out of the Earthshaker. I think initiation was like a very key component to that last game, and how J.Storm really suffered in their team fighting capacity simply because they didn't have this clean initiating style hero. So I much prefer Serenity's lineup for this matchup so far, but we'll see how it breaks down, especially when it comes to the laning phase. Lich is always one of those heroes that provides the most lopsided effects sometimes in the laning phase, where you have this hero that can go and like do these like dual lane mid situations and stuff like that. Looks like he's going to be playing bottom with the Phantom Lancer, and that will match into the Timbersaw lane. And they're going to run the Ogre Morana top as sort of an expected aggro dual lane, and they're going to have the Phoenix plus Earthshaker.
Yeah, this is going to be the thing to watch out for. Like you were saying, is, you know, does that sort of Lich secure them a strong enough lane, since they've brought the PL down there? They are obviously going to be able to deny out a good amount of the experience coming into that Timbersaw. I was almost wondering if they were going to think about going towards the Invoker with the Lich and just deny him out absolutely everything. But it looks like Brile, getting set up with the Quaswex, will be left with a relatively free lane against the Leshrac 1v1. I say free, really, I just mean the Tim versus him. As we can see, there's only one deny already from Brile. Besides that, he's had a tough time of it. And, well, getting some right clicks in there on the ZYD, trading a lot of hits.
Yeah, this matchup I think is probably going to be the most important in the laning phase. The Timbersaw should be able to do pretty well in this bottom lane. The Phantom Lancer eventually won't be able to pressure the Timbersaw. Again, around level 3, maybe level 5 is where the Timbersaw finally truly takes over, just because they've got this decent amount of nuke damage from the Lance, as well as these constant blasts from the Lich. Top lane, we haven't seen it yet, but PYW is going to be playing that Earthshaker. Varev Morana, I don't know, I'm just not convinced that they have like the AoE damage to really be able to deal with this Phantom Monster. The best thing that they have is the Timbersaw, and there is going to be that mana burn aspect that Breaky was actually talking about on the panel. The Winter Wyvern is just kind of okay, the Morana is just kind of okay. It's the Invoker's like big AoE damage, but you don't have any AoE control to really follow that up. The only thing you have is Winter's Curse in that regard. So they're going to be super reliant on this one ultimate, just like they were very reliant on the Supernova last game.
This is really interesting, the way that March is doing it, pulling the creep wave back, doubling it up now, and that way Mirana can just get some free pot shots there onto the Earthshaker, make him burn through that first salve. And now, Fissure blocked in. March was blocked in by the creeps a second ago. Even though he's a big and tanky ogre, he's going to be taking a lot of this right-click damage, and maybe First Blood coming in. They take down the Phoenix, XCJ.
A great start, especially with the wave pushing into them. They're going to be able to get this creep equilibrium in their favor. The easy camp is not blocked, though, so Serenity should play off of that as a result. While really making sure he's pushing this advantage. I'm a little bit surprised we don't see the Weg Sword build to start, just because you do have some abilities to play off of the Sunstrike. You're going to have the Winter's Curse. You're going to have the Fire Blast into Arrow combo as well. And then the increase in damage would really help you for the CSing over this Leshrac. I guess it's hard to deny the Leshrac because he's going to be getting Lightning CS quite a lot.
And then the tough part about it right now that you can see already is that he hasn't been able to get almost anything in this lane. 6-1 on the Invoker versus the 19 now and 6 of the Leshrac. I mean, granted, Invoker not known for having a fabulous laning phase. This is the big downside to this hero. But how big of a problem would you say this is?
It's definitely a big problem because the Quadswex Invoker, he typically runs around and tries to get these kills. It looks like they got to pick off on March in the top lane, but you need to have that like strong start in the laning phase where you're getting a decent amount of CS. So when you start rotating, it's going to be the hero kills that are more important around 15 minutes. If you can get a lot of hero pickoffs and start getting the experience and gold to start, boosting his way into that really critical level 18, level 20 area where you start getting those later levels in Exort. Again, you're going to need that AoE damage eventually.
Obviously needing to make those rotations once everybody's able to get into position. They did get the deny there. Always love to see it. The other sort of oddity that exists here in this draft is the core Earthshaker, which the panel was talking about as well. A little bit of a departure from what we normally see is he's taking a beating down in the top lane. It does kind of feel like it's the type of game, though, that if you can get that solid initiation, it looks like there's a leap in there trying to find a kill and almost getting him, that he can kind of also be another avenue to just bully that Invoker as time goes on.
Yeah, with your burst damage, it's very helpful to be able to take on these squishier cores that sit in the back line. You just manage to get a Blink Echo Slam on the Invoker or the Mirana, and it's pretty much a guaranteed blow up, especially with the follow-up damage that you have, whether it's a Supernova that's following you up or it's going to be the Leshrac Split Earth. The biggest thing is you just have some sort of AoE stun initiating hero whenever you're playing with the Phoenix.
Well, and he is now going to pick up that kill. Another one going towards March as he ends up dying.
I love it when mid laners, especially heroes like Lina, Leshrac, Ember Spirit, any of those heroes that take a large advantage out of bottle, rotate for the 5-minute bounty rune. It's so worth it. About 450, get over to that secret shop, pick up the bounty, pick up a bottle, and you're either going to get a kill on one of the enemy supports trying to go for the bounty runes, or you've got 2 free refills on your bottle off of the bounties that you've secured. So either way, it's pretty much worth it for you. Yeah. Invoker, obviously, you don't build a bottle, so it's expected that he's going to sit AFK in the mid lane.
As bottom lane move, taking a lot of damage there as well, and another rotation, as you said, making those movements with the Leshrac early. He's not shutting down the Invoker, but he's trying to make sure that the other lanes have a good time.
Yeah, he's actually, we saw a lot of this sort of movement, these fast rotations really early on to the laning phase from his Wind Ranger, when they had that very successful game against the core Leshrac. And now the Phantom Lancer can go ahead and play that mid matchup. So I kind of expected this to be the mid lane initially, but Leshrac does pretty well against the Quadswex Invokers, so.
You just see there, March just really to run in and again dive the tower with that illusion rune, had no fear at all and forces out the doppelganger.
You don't really have a great tower hitters here from J.Storm, so what Serenity needs to be able to do is protect that mid-tier 1 tower. It just helps control their jungle. Ooh, they got the kill on GGG.
That is huge, and March might end up paying the price for this, but that is perfectly fine. getting a kill on the Invoker for the PL.
Yeah, it looks like they hit him with the Tornado, and then he lands. He get him with the Cold Snap, not allowing him to be able to get the Doppelganger, and that's just enough time for what I presume a Fire Blast to follow that up.
Man, Bryle showing off. I mean, this is, again, one of the heroes that he's known for and what made him a star and got attention at the very beginning, as we do see Milan die to ZYD. So one hero staying in the mid lane on the Invoker, trying to catch up a little bit, while Leshrac just kind of makes his way around the map and kills off the rest of that Invoker's team.
This is so cool. I've never seen a Leshrac be this aggressive this early on. Like, obviously, you start getting level 8 and stuff, you move around, but ZYD, he's just such a boss in this regard. He just makes things happen, man. Always makes these kills. PYW should be okay. He's going to take a lot of damage in return. His CS, 38 and 5, so looks like he's about even with the Mirana.
Speaking of that Mirana, as the Lich moves into position, no level 6 actually just dies to Ferev to the Starstorm.
I think he might have gotten the extra Starstorm proc. I didn't quite see that right, but oh, that arrow is a little bit off the mark there from Ferev. He's still going to go for it with the Starstorm, will be able to get the Lich kill. Now PYW going to get kited around. The Phoenix
Echo?
coming back in. Does have the Echo. Maybe he wants to be able to go for it onto March. He's going to rely on the Enchant Totem. Echo Slam moving forward to make sure he hits Ferev as well. That was pretty cleverly placed. And now Ferev, he has no leap charges. So if they actually catch up here from PYW, might be able to get the kill. Not sure how long the Fisher's up, but the dive in, it's got to be enough.
My God, really solid stuff there.
Yeah, dominating streak. That's going to really help out XCJ, who's probably pretty underfarmed from these multiple deaths, but they cannot lose their Phantom Lancer. This is, his farm is pretty paramount. You need the initial farm for the Earthshaker guaranteed, and the Leshrac, so they can start creating space for this Phantom Lancer to start scaling into the late game.
And you can see right there as well, ZYD still being a menace in this bottom lane. But he does need to respect the damage from the level 7 Timbersaw now. Obviously, Reactive Armor doesn't care that much, although we do have, again, in the mid lane here, finding the PL available. They get the kill on him. Doppelganger was not available.
Oh, look at this. ZYD is coming in from behind, so J.Storm's going to just move north as best they can, but PYW's already in position there. Earthshaker slowing down Bryle. They do manage to get the Icarus dive in as well. The increased movement speed, the Lightning actually slows him down just enough for the Split Earth to land. March trying to get a kill on his way out of this life on the Phoenix. The Ignite will burn out XCJ just in time, but I would say that it's kind of a win for Serenity because the Phantom Lancer gets traded out, yes, but this Invoker kill was very important.
Yeah, good stuff right there from them, and you know, this is the hero that you need to shut down the entire time. It does sort of still feel like he's been able to get away at least with a decent amount of farm on that Invoker after those couple of kills that he had early on, and now still living up to what we're expecting out of this matchup. 16 kills, 10 minutes as they move towards the bounty rune, and maybe going to be able to turn this back around now onto March. They find the Split Earth, they go in with the Pulse Nova, and that is a dead Ogre.
Moo, this is not a fight you want to be around here. He's going to try and Timber Chain back over to the other side, but Bryle has to be careful.
Already go out and away with the mana, though. So the EMP hitting means that it's that much harder to take the fight, and that's the other nice part about the Quasarks of Ogre. They try and take down the Phoenix. Can they slow down that attack speed enough as he's trying to juke away from and through the trees? He's dead.
So this is a common thread for J.Storm, that rotation where they kill the Phantom Lancer. Again, rotating 2 heroes into the mid lane. What it does, they get a pick off on the mid hero, and then they also free up a lot of space for the side laners to recover. Moo and Ferev both got a lot of damage on the opposing tier 1 towers and got a decent amount of farm. You can see their top CS right now as a result of all that.
Nice bit of space created.
And if you look at Serenity and the way they are approaching this, they're actually rotating their side lane cores into the mid lane. So as a result, PYW is a little bit under farm, but they are killing Bryle every once in a while.
They are able to force out that egg defensively, and does mean that, well, are they going to chase? They can't find that kill either. It does still feel, though, like it's always going to be, to me at least,
big smoke.
Nice shoot in as Bryle. I don't have a chance to talk as they're trying to find him and see if they can kill him off. Slowed up for the moment, but he is going to be able to walk away for the moment as March rotates in and tries to find ZYD, but that Bahoni is too quick.
That was a really
escape.
cool play where ZYD separates himself to make sure he doesn't get hit by the tornado, but missing the Split Earth cost them the kill.
Again, very action-packed beginning to this game.
They got to get PYW to his Blink Dagger, though. They keep on rotating him around to try and help out for these kills, but they need that just hard Blink initiation. Again, it's going to be so easy for them to get kills on Mirana and Invoker once they had that Blink Echo Slam.
12 minutes in, and still at a decent timing because he's been able to get all of that farm, but those couple of deaths, not necessarily what you want. Speaking of deaths, Ogre has died 6 times so far in this game as they found the Phoenix, and in the middle of the dive, find the cold snap. Quick fingers there from Bryle. They take him down. Does sort of feel similar to what we saw last game, though, where Serenity are just throwing bodies at this mid tower to try and keep it alive.
Yeah, but it looks like they're finally going to give it up. They're like, all right, 12 minutes is the longest time we can take this onslaught of heroes, especially with J.Storm rotating their side lane heroes into mid. With the amount of farm they got in the first 10 minutes, it's going to be really tough to compete. So they just need to try and threaten the side lane towers as much as possible. Good read by ZYD backing away from that. He knows if he does get caught, that's why he scans behind the tower, because if Invoker TP's in and he gets a tornado, that sets up other people to TP in, and they'll easily catch and kill ZYD.
Oh, long TP there, and now gets punished. This is the Earthshaker right before his Blink Dagger comes in. They take him down.
You can't be farming in your own jungle like that. You just have to know that J.Storm is going to have aggressive vision laid out into this jungle, and they're going to be controlling it. They're going to be invading a lot. They want to try and put some pressure onto that tier 2. This is just not the area that's safe to farm for an Earthshaker. If anybody's going to be farming there, it's got to be like either the Leshrac shoves out the lane and he's got supports behind him, or it's maybe a Phantom Lancer down there who has a bit more survivability, but they can't lose ZUID too.
This has been a catastrophic couple of minutes here, and now moving forward for more, they're going to Icarus dive and see if they can possibly catch out that Phoenix. It doesn't actually going to be able to get that, but no, you take a look at this 3,000 gold lead. It's sort of ballooning up. The other thing that was kind of unfortunate about that Earthshaker kill was that it looked like it was a longer TP. He wasn't TPing back to base. He was trying to get out of the area, but somebody else obviously going there first.
The Mirana, Frev, got so much farm. At his first 15 minutes, he's going to go for a faster Maelstrom, and then I think his second item, BKB, for him. That way, he just always has the answer to the team fight of Serenity. He can just go ahead, similar to the way the Wind Ranger, ZYD's Wind Ranger played against the Leshrac, just pop your BKB and run at him and right-click him. And it just makes the Leshrac so sad. He can't do anything. And it's going to be the same effect against the Supernova of the Phoenix as well.
Oh, they're hunting him. They want this kill so badly. If he stands still for a moment, they're going to be able to find the arrow. The pings are coming out in mass. They would love to be able to collapse on this, but ZYD recognizing the danger, Bryle in the area as well. They reveal him with the Ghost Walk now. This is looking like it could be the setup for a battle if they're up in the top side, but J.Storm not willing to fully commit as of yet. As Moonlight Shadow wears off, March walks up into the high ground, into the waiting clutches, but they find the arrow. The Winter's Curse as well. PL starting to lay into that Lesh. Do they have the follow-up damage, though, that they need? The EMP not quite going to be there, and Serenity dodge a bullet.
Oh, PYW, not again.
Oh, no.
He just can't get away from Moo at this point.
Oh,
he's so close to his Blink Dagger every single time.
Oh, God.
They've got to do something to secure PYW a faster Blink Dagger, man. This is just killing me watching this because, again, you have such a clean 1-2 combo. Blink, Echo Slam, follow-up Supernova, any sort of AoE, big stuns are going to just allow you to win team fights, but until he has that item, they don't have the clear team fight advantage.
And thinking about the net worth difference between these two teams is they do have the Icarus dive forward, Bryle, starting to take the damage out as well, but they have the cold snap in the meantime on the Leshrac. He's isolated away from the rest of his team, and they're going to be able to find that kill. Meanwhile, Bryle is going to go down as well. So the trade-off 1-for-1 of mid laners, as PYW, mad as hell about losing out on his Blink Dagger over and over again, wants to say something about it, might be able to find March here, and he's just giving up his life to make sure that Milan gets out of there, as the Supernova is down also. That keeps the Timbersaw from fully committing.
Hey, thank God he got the last hit on that kill, because now he's just 40 gold away from the Blink Dagger. Hopefully, no Caster's Curse here. He's going to get it off of this creep wave, and everything will be a little bit easier here for Team Serenity.
Yeah. Well, and just as far as the net worth on each of these heroes, you know, it's still feeling like with the last hits up, it's, you know, Mirana up towards the top and the Timbersaw, but It does feel like now J.Storm starting to get that lead. 4,000 gold up as PL just dies. Milan able to find that kill. Moo taunting them in their face for losing their PL yet again.
Oh, that was an Echo Slam to jump in for the Earthshaker. Then caught Ryle. That's a big-time kill. They will be able to get it. The Yule Scepter onto the last rank. ZYD's trying to buy a little bit of time. Moo's still going to be able to chase him down with the Timber Chain. He needs to hit the perfect Chakram here. He's holding some time until the Fire Blast will secure the kill, but the rest of the team is still fighting. Brev actually managed to clean up both XCJ as well as the Lich. As I can only imagine, his initiation came with some sort of long-range arrow. They just destroy that team fight and look to take the tier 2 now.
Man, big plays. 4 dead. That was the reveal of the Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker. So just dismantling this Serenity team. J.Storm have found their confidence after game number 1 and not going the way that they wanted it to. PL is back into position, as is PYW, and seeing if they can make their move in. Can go for the Fissure block off, obviously, but with the Fire Blast there, it's not going to happen. Frev gets the leap away, chase down, and the Fissure actually blocking his own team off. Doppelgangering forward, Moo's going to throw out the Chakram, but already it was going to be a dead Marana.
Trades his life for a tier 2. I'm not entirely sure if it's worth it for J.Storm because that much gold being in to GGG really helps accelerate his farm, right? 500 gold basically from that kill. It's pretty massive. Makes up for the deaths of earlier, but J.Storm, 5,000 gold lead. The next step is going to be, they don't have the greatest roach-taking team, so it's going to need like some really good pickoffs. They just don't have a ton of physical damage to lay into that, unfortunately. They are doing a good job of just keeping up the pressure, right? Fast pace, get aggressive wards down into their jungle. Don't give the Phantom Lancer too many opportunities. Just farm his way back through neutraling.
It is still going to be the Marana and the Timbersaw that are sitting top of the net worth right now. But as we're sort of, keeping our eyes on is Smoke Up, Echo Slam in 30 seconds. And just going to jump forward, see if they can find this kill onto Timber. The Chain Frost bouncing around a heck of a lot, and they're going to find that kill. Much needed from Serenity.
Yeah, absolutely. Those Bloodstone charges down as well. The Moonlight Shadow, they're going to find the initiation here, trying to blow up ZYD. Again, they just keep on finding him. And the Winter Surge, they want to go for the +1 as well, but they need to finish on ZYD, and that's where Bryle comes in. Does manage to get that kill. Long-range Tornado, looking to be able to catch that, I think it was the Lich on his way out, but there's a pickoff I guess they need to be able to try and go for Roche. They've got the arrow now with the Alacrity damage on Frev. I guess there is significant damage amplifiers between the two of them, but it's still going to be a slow Roche taking.
Yeah, this is going to take a while, and we do have that Echo Slam back up now for the Earthshaker if they want to get into position. The problem is that it's not obviously as effective once you're in the Roche pit and there's only a couple people in there. So you did combo that together perfectly with the Phoenix as they scan it out as well, moving into position. They're going to take this bounty rune. That reveals their position to the Radiant. And J.Storm looking to take the fight to them instead. He'll jumps in Echo Slam, connects onto 2 with the Fissure out as well. Is it going to be enough? There's no follow-up right now from the side of Serenity. And J.Storm weathering through the storm. They're going to jump forward, see if they can find the egg. Supernova done. Farev is just styling on people right now as everybody from J.Storm still left alive.
They're still trying to back up. The last strike is coming in, doing a decent amount of magic damage. They really want this Phantom Lance. They know how badly his farm has been crippled. Doppelganger just before the Whirling Death there survives a little bit longer, heading to the trees, but it looks like ZYD's definitely dead. And now with the Chakram, they do finish up that Phantom Lancer as well. Both the really important cores down from Team Serenity. J.Storm, they don't need a Roshan. The team fight that results as is good enough for them. They'll be able to take tier 2 next.
Man, solid showing right there from J.Storm. And again, the recognition with that scan hitting that you're going to be able to take that fight after the fact.
Yeah.
Good vision in the area as well from them with those wards placed down. They knew where the rotation could come from Serenity, and they were prepped.
Frev always looks good. He's one of those offlaners that you want to prioritize more. He's more of your like carry style offlaner or your really aggressive initiator. It's weird how that works, right? In this Rana, he looks really good as sort of this like nice semi-carry with Bryle taking over the hard carry on this Invoker. Even then, the Quaswex Invoker isn't the hardest carry of cores.
Well, and honestly, he's kind of the long-range initiator too, so he fills both roles in this one.
They're all just like taking a piece of this carry role going into the late game.
power of teamwork and friendship, and the power of a timber saw running into your face. It's going to steal away the farm from the PL that's just looking for anywhere at all to get the items online.
Finally, the Spirit Vessel really needed whenever they start targeting either the Invoker or the Timber Saw, as both of them do have a very large amount of regen.
Well, and there are a lot of issues that are still needing to be addressed also on top of that. But right now, the biggest issue is that J.Storm seemed confident just pressing towards the last of these Tier 2 towers remaining on the map.
They just got to shove out lanes if they're Serenity, push out those side lanes right now without the Phantom Lancer getting caught, and that's why he's using his illusions to do so. But Brawl very smartly coming up here in Invis. He's not going to reveal himself until they're ready to go with the combination. And with the Doppelganger now expunged, he's going to go through the Tornado combination, make sure they get that kill quite easily.
That was the saddest thing ever. He knows he's
Yeah.
going to die. He just can't move anywhere. And Bryle eventually waits for his teammates to show up.
ZOID with the, I think one of the mistakes there is GGG, he needs to play like towards the north. He needs to play on the side of the map in the trees if he's going to make that sort of play, because he can't just play down there where the Invoker is going to be able to find him easily. ZYD did push out the bottom lane with the Leshrac all the way into the tier 2, but J.Storm, they're playing the game of like side lane push chicken basically. And they don't rotate anybody back. They're going to keep the pressure on top of Serenity as best as possible and make sure they don't have space to be able to farm a little bit more in the Phantom Lancer jungle area and such. So.
Wow, look at this. Up on the top side, they find the Winter's Curse now. This
The
is a
arrow.
huge problem. The follow-up is there. Leshrac in trouble. Can they bring him down in time? It looks like it's not quite going to be there. The Eul's have to lift up, but they are bringing this Phoenix down low as well. Supernova pops off. The PL is back up in a couple of seconds if they can wait that long, but with the Leshrac already dead, they're going to need the buyback from him. Neil caught. Also, PYW not there. Do they want to try and buy back that as well to take this fight?
Moo is able to get that long timber chain away. And with their Mirana out, top net worth leader, J.Storm definitely got to get out of here. It was a good little scrap there, getting the Earthshaker kill, getting out.
Yeah, and the buyback also coming from that Leshrac means you're very happy with the way that that series of events unfolds.
Yeah, we have a Quaswex Invoker who's looking at probably, I would say, a 30-minute Aghanim Scepter. That's a great timing for you. He's not, anywhere near the top net worth chart, but he's getting just enough out of all these rotations and hero kills that he's still going to be relevant going into like that 35, 40 minutes. If you have a hard time as a Quaswex Invoker and don't get your Aghanim Scepter in a decent time and aren't keeping up in levels, you can kind of fall off significantly.
Yeah, just throw out those EMP tornadoes and then there's nothing left after the fact.
Yeah, exactly.
So with the damage on hand already by virtue of the Mirana and the Timber Saw, it feels like his only job for the next little while is to keep people in place so that they can eventually clean up and take down Serenity.
So not completing like the Lotus Orb or Shivas or anything. Instead, our Timber Saw picks up the earlier Boots of Travel because he knows that Team Serenity are getting to a point where they can't really take team fights very easily. ZYD is falling off quite significantly as a core, and so all that's really left is just trying to like aggressively split push to buy more time for this Phantom Lancer to come online. The PL, we're still basically waiting for the point where he's got heart, and this AoE damage isn't nearly as threatening, but you could see from the gold in the bank right now, only 1,000 gold with the quick buy on that heart. It's going to be a long time coming.
Oh, Winter's Curse, as they tried to go in. I think that might have been precasted, in fact.
Yeah.
And Neil, Mr. PYW, trying to escape. He's not on Tiny this time, that hero that's been so successful. There's stunning illusions, though, as the real PL was able to hide away. Chant Totem trying to run. Milan still chasing. They have the Sentry Ward down, and now the shenanigans are over for PYW.
I can't believe Phantom Lancer is still sticking around in this fight. With ZYD down, he has to know that these pickoffs are going to potentially lead for J.Storm going into the high ground. Forced out the BKB from Ferev. That's really surprising because Ferev, I thought he would have used that BKB killing ZYD, but it looks like he didn't even have to expand that resource at all.
Man,
he just
arrows.
kills the opposing mid for free, basically.
Yeah, that's insane. And now he doesn't have buyback either. He had to buy back in that last fight. This is a huge opening here for J.Storm as they're going to walk up onto the high ground and start to assault the Tier 3 tower.
The Mirana, with the Alacrity as well as the Bloodlust, is going to act as your physical damage dealer for the tower. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but they've got plenty of time thanks to Mu being able to soak up the tower shots, get that reactive armor going. The only thing that really scares them is being burned out of their mana bit by bit, and the team fight right next to the base with a high ground and supernova and stuff that looks a little scary. So I like the way they just kind of like poke, see if they can get some damage, then retreat, and just go back to controlling the map. The worst thing that they can do right now is try and go high ground prematurely, lose that fight, and lose a lot of map control as a result.
Serenity know the Aegis just expired, and they've already found Milan. They found March, the Fissure down, catching 2. But with that, J.Storm going to retreat with everybody else.
Nice pickup. That'll complete the Shadow Blade for the Earthshaker. He's going to have a hard time. Like, when you first pick up your Blink Dagger, you can get some very key kills on Invoker and Mirana, but these heroes are very mobile, and they do they have the BKB on the Mirana, for example. So now you need to be able to have a little bit more deception. You need to be able to get in a better position for your Blink with this invisibility of the Shadow Blade. Just running in pure vision with a Blink Dagger is just never going to work for you this late into the game.
Yeah.
Very likely just to get tornadoed or BKB denied your Echo Slam initiation.
I mean, to be honest, though, with the crazy way that these fights have gone, it does sort of feel like it might have been able to work for a little while. Like, we've got almost 50 kills in 27 minutes yet again, as these two teams just bang their faces against each other.
It's definitely to the advantage of J.Storm that we have so many kills, such a chaotic, fast-paced game. What Serenity wanted was like a fight every 2 minutes around Supernova, where they get like 1 or 2 kills and they just slow down the game as a result, giving this Phantom Lancer time to scale. But J.Storm has just been hyper aggressive, always playing inside of your jungle, never really, the only area they haven't been able to control so well has been that off-lane jungle, but you could see the amount of effort Serenity's put in to make sure that there's no wards over there. So they never feel comfortable making that kind of invasion. They've got like 3 sentries over in that area.
And right now, with the DD Rune ready for Forev, there's a chance that they can just play pretty much wherever they want as they're pressuring top and mid, it looks like.
Yeah, they know that this push coming down from ZYD, they're going to try and force him back inside his base by poking at high ground again.
They do spot him out there. Winter's Curse into arrows, an opportunity there if they wanted to go for it, but does not find the opening. That's so scary, the entire rest of this game from Milan with his Blink Dagger and then the Glimmer Cape ready. It's an instant pick-off.
Yeah, you've got... There's no way to be able to block that arrow, basically, right? Unless the Earthshaker's going to blink ahead of the Winter's Curse to tank it. You can't lose your Earthshaker that easily, right? So it's definitely going to be a sore spot for Serenity for a long time here.
Or he can wait up to the top and possibly find them on the backside with the blink in as they're going for the hunt and kill. But not an easy opening. And also, J.Storm, they don't need to push it that much. There is still this like looming anxiety in a way, I feel, about the PL getting out of control. And it does feel like they're at least holding their high ground right now. But
yeah, I would say that like J.Storm is ahead of schedule. They're farther ahead in net worth than they really need to be. So I would say it's like another 10 minutes. If you still haven't taken Lane of Rax, then I start getting concerned for J.Storm. But a pickup like this would be massive.
As they find him, Forev right at the get-go, March trying to save a life, but it's not going to have the Winter's Curse to turn it back around, though. Is it going to be enough? They're trying to take him down, Sunstrike through to follow it as well, but it's not quite there. Leshrac living, the Shrine is out as well. ZYD pops the BKB living! He's actually getting away from them. They're fully committing for this, but they can't find the kill on the Leshrac. Tornado lifts up onto 2, but now PL is in the midst of all of them. Brile losing his mana. They find a secondary fissure now onto Mu as Neil jumps in, PYW trying to control, but it's all too much. They can't go in that far.
Dude, ZYD was insane. The fact he got out of that and he healed up a little bit and he's like, all right, my team's fighting. I'm going to go back in and see if I can help them out. I'm just like, ZYD, that sounds like a terrible idea. Just go heal, man. I'm glad Serenity showed the restraint of not pursuing for more there. They got a good kill on the Mirana. They don't need to try and push it too much. The Timbersaw is a really big threat for this Phantom Lancer because you just have this AoE damage that chips away at his HP. Every doppelganger, the illusion that comes out after that point that's already at half HP. Whoa!
The blink instantly comboed together there, but he might end up being in trouble regardless. Can't get off the fissure. It does finally come, but there is no follow-up at all for that one.
They did not expect this kind of fast rotation from J.Storm immediately after a team fight into what has kind of been this sacred off-lane jungle area that has been the most secure farm for the Phantom Lancer. But again, the restraint, I love it. GGG's just like, you're dead, sorry buddy, I'm gonna doppelganger over these Ancients, farm those, I'm gonna push out bottom, get a few lane creeps as well.
Was the Leshrac able to get out of there too? Yeah, I mean, it's all for the glory of GGG at this point, it feels like.
Yeah.
My life for my carry every day of the week.
Does he have heart yet? He's got to be very close on the Phantom Lancer to getting that heart.
I mean, that's normally one of those big game-changing items, and oftentimes can completely sort of turn the tables. Is it that type of an item in this particular game?
It won't all of a sudden allow you to win team fights guaranteed, but I think it'll even out the playing field a bit more. And then once you get the next item after that, and I'm not entirely sure what that is, but that next item will probably be the point where Phantom Lancer starts taking over the game, and it's Serenity who have the advantage. But J.Storm secure themselves another Aegis, as well as the cheese for Ryle. An immediate smoke up, probably going to go for the invasion into that off-lane jungle where the Phantom Lancer has been farming so much.
PL, in the meantime, going to pick up an illusion rune. We'll see if he tries to do any bait plays with one of those, as J.Storm just running into that section of the map, as you said, but Serenity are wise to their problems now. Now, Milan can jump forward, and he might think about going for one of these big Winter's Curse plays, or they can just punch the Lich to death because there's no counterplay. And PYW forced to run away.
Listen, Lich did his job. He's got Lich armor on the tower. That's the important part.
That's fair enough. Oh, God. I've forgotten how much that hero can hurt to play as in the later stage. Mjolnir charge right now onto Mu. They can throw out all the lightning in the world, but this guy has regen galore and not great answers on deck as they jump in. A lot of damage there from the Mirana onto the Phoenix, but still living for the moment.
They're trying to poke and see if they can get this Aegis kill without committing to a team fight.
The dream, really, if they can get it done.
Yeah. And I like the fact J.Storm still have a lot of time with their Aegis here. So there's no reason to give it away just yet. They heal up, get this Marauder full HP, they can try it again. They can get a little bit more chip damage on this tier 3. But as we talked about very early on, it's like this is the one problem, the one sticking point for J.Storm is they just don't have the really solid high ground opportunities, right? They just don't have a good tier 3 tower hitter. It's a Mirana. It's not that much physical damage. It's a little bit better with the alacrity that they keep giving him, and as well as with the bloodlust. But the Lich armor definitely offsets those big buffs, right? So it's just a grind for J.Storm, and they have to make sure that they don't make any mistakes. One team fight could be them losing control of this game.
And likewise, if you do manage to, possibly wait out the entire duration of this Aegis, things could start to feel pretty good for Serenity. To me, it doesn't even feel like they necessarily need to take a fight if they can just hold on, keep farming, dodge away. Obviously, if J.Storm moves too far forward and get a little bit antsy, you can then punish that aggression. But at least for now, hold the line and beware of the movement from Milan.
So our Phantom Lancer, because he rushed the heart, is going to go back for the Manta now. And then after that, I'm not sure what it is. If you get like Shadowblade Silver Edge, you'll have a better answer against the Timber Saw. There's so much magic damage that it might be warranted for a BKB.
Milan thought about it. He waited so long, saw the doppelganger coming out, and wasn't willing to quite go on him yet. In this Moonlight Shadow, doing everything that they possibly can to think about the jump in there as well if they want to go for it. It is going to be the Leshrac caught for the moment, and Freb going to jump forward. The BKB blink out.
Wow.
Great play from ZYD, keeping himself alive. And now, have they gone a bit too far? Can they chase this out? PYW there burns through the Aegis, and now with the Supernova following it up as well. Mu is caught to the side. He did not hit on his Timber Chain. They're going to start to drain his mana. The Winter's Curse is there, but with the Sunray healing him up through all of it, they blow up yet another March Force Staff. He's up there on the high ground. Serenity are doing it.
God, I love that play from XCJ, and it looks like they're going to be able to catch Timbersaw as well. Timbersaw gets fissured up, the turnaround from Ryle. He's going to go for the kill on ZYD and might be able to get it too. ZYD ends up falling. Moo's still going to be able to make it back with the Timber Chain, but it's the Phantom Lancer. He's the real scary one. Sure, PYW is going to clean up the support, but Phantom Lancer still hunting. It does manage to get the latch there. follows Moo all the way to
Oh
the
my
edge of the
God.
earth. Will be able to burn him out of all of his mana. Now, it's going to take him a while. Even if he Bloodstone suicides, this is worth it. They're going to be able to get the gem.
Great play, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get the Bloodstone Suicide off.
Oh, even
PYW,
better.
800 gold. Big plays there from Team Serenity. They waited out perfectly, and it has to be the ZYD play getting out of there after they were initiated on him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He pretty much draws in the enemy team. It was so smart. He pops his BKB. They can't attack fast enough to be able to stop his Blink Dagger, so he blinks back. They pursue, and XCJ, he knows that they've overextended themselves. As soon as he realizes the Mirana's going to die, he pops Supernova. Why? Because the Mirana has already expended his leap charges. He's going to come back in, and the Supernova is going to explode like a half a second later. And on top of that, like Timbersaw can't deal with the egg. He's going to be slowed down by the Purge as well. He's also going to be caught in that damage and in that stun.
Long range arrow, but the Yule Scepter is there. PYW living for the moment. Can they get him out? Indeed, E-Duty. My God. By the skin of his teeth.
Jesus. That was wild. It was great Yule Scepter pickup.
Yeah.
What if Aghanim Scepter is a thought for him just because there is so much damage flying around?
And I don't think he gets that either. It was pretty close to not having the gold for it, but that kill onto the Timbersaw,
Yeah.
800 gold in his pocket.
Oh, yeah.
So 37 minutes in, we are at and approaching 60 kills.
Finally, that Manta is up.
Cataclysm for the Invoker. But it does kind of feel like it's starting to teeter onto that edge where J.Storm might start to lose a little bit of the command of this game. They still haven't taken a tower.
Yeah, for sure. But that Cataclysm upgrade should not be overlooked because Milan has this Blink Dagger and is always threatening a good Winter's Curse. The Winter's Curse into a big Cataclysm play could definitely shift things back in the favor of J.Storm and may be able to get them that high ground breaking potential is all pretty much on that initiation because they just can't chip away at the tier 3 forever. They just get burned out of mana from all the Phantom Lancer illusions and then the resulting team fight that would occur if they kept going. Jesus, PYW just keep on pulling this off.
Unbelievable. Yeah, and both of the cores, everybody's doing it. They're actually looking to go back in now. His Blink Dagger's still going to be on cooldown for a second, but he has a Fissure to expend. Milan shows up. The Fissure is going to connect now onto him. Can they blow him up before that Winter's Curse comes out? The Supernova's down. Nobody's going to be able to hit this one at all, and they are going to throw the Winter's Curse just to try and escape, as it looks like they are going to not quite lose the Earthshaker.
That was a great Winter's Curse. It was such a choke point. He almost got an Earthshaker kill and also guaranteed there was going to be no real good pursuit from Serenity. It was only ZYD trying to blink past it all.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Lead now down to just 6,000. And again, the big story is that it's J.Storm that's been able to control the entire map, the entire game past the 20-minute mark pretty much, and they were not able to breach high ground during that time.
And once Serenity do start taking enough map control that they can start threatening towers, there's a lot of gold left on the map. And what I mean by that is there's these tier 1s and tier 2s. So you look at their 6,000 gold lead. Well, what happens if Serenity wins one fight? Well, they're going to go probably even. They're probably going to get a good 3-4K gold out of that team fight, and then they're going to start taking objectives, and you're going to see that net worth will plummet down to the favor of Serenity, and it's like they've cracked open the piggy bank, and they'll just be able to get that next item for the Phantom Lancer. They'll be able to finally get some a great late game item for the Leshrac, and catching up this Mirana is a great start.
A brilliant start, and this is close to the point where Roche was capable to respawn. Still need to wait on what that timer actually says. And now Bryle caught in no man's land. The Winter's Curse to try and save his life. They might think about turning this back around now with the ice wall down. They're already burning through the man. The BKB came out though in time, and Milan gonna be controlled. No Winter's Curse here. The arrow goes in. Is able to hit on the PL. What?
That allows them to be able to disengage, honestly. They can't go for the Phantom Lancer, but it at least means the real PL can't chase some of these heroes down.
The odds on that. PYW waiting in the Roche pit, ready to jump if they decide to walk down into that choke point. But with the buyback forced there by the Mirana, another win for Serenity. Neil looking for the opening. He's walking in. The Echo Slam connects on it too. Is this going to be a dieback on the Mirana? No, he's able to get the Deafening Blast out, saving his buddy for the moment, but eventually he is going to fall. March getting caught in the moment by that chain thrust. Cataclysm down, but it's not hitting onto anybody at all. It's a dieback from the Mirana. It's going to be Moo, most likely dead as well, unless he can manage to play his way out of there. Bryo controlled. Can they control him in turn as they have the cheese down? And with that Sunray out as well, March just trying to Fire Blast to stop it, but it's not going to happen. They take down the Invoker.
And now Serenity is just going to run over this team. Moo coming back in, gets a lot of damage, but the BKB activated by ZYT. He does manage to get out. They really wanted that kill, but Milan trying to pursue for it. Does manage to get the Winter's Curse at the last second, guaranteeing that pickoff. Moo can't really deal with the Phantom Lancer by himself. He's going to look to just try and push them back so he can control these towers. He's going to lose all of his mana. Now, he does get that full reactive armor pretty quickly, so it's really tough for Phantom Lancer to in turn kill him, but he could just force Moo back and then take that objective. And now you're going to have Serenity with the net worth advantage.
We are just about back to even with this tier 1, like you said.
Oh,
it should swing the other way.
He went for a Basher build on PL. I'm thinking like stat items, thinking Scotty. I'm thinking any sort of defensive item allows him to just make sure he certainly lives longer, and just time is to his benefit. But
I guess if he gets into an Abyssal, the damage block, if he gets Winter's Cursed himself, maybe it's kind of a cool little thing, maybe. But regardless. It is now a lead for Serenity. They've weathered that initial problem coming from J.Storm, and it feels like this PL is really hard to touch or deal with in any fashion. Against the low ground even there with the Doppelganger.
Brown's still trying to catch him though.
Oh, maybe a chance. Again, in some trouble. The Phoenix zips in.
He does have the Supernova too. He may have to pop it here just to try and draw attention away from this Phantom Lancer, but they're going to keep on going. Moo's still going to try and chase him down. He moves over to the left-hand side, almost gets hit by an arrow, but Doppelganger's at the last second there. Moo tries to pursue, but he's into the river now, but Perez spots him. Managed to get him. The Cataclysm gets a little vision as well. He just keeps on putting all those lead charges to make sure they get the primary carry. And now Serenity, they've got to back up. It's 90 seconds on the clock for this Phantom Lancer. They just got to play for the high ground defense. They cannot afford to lose more heroes here.
The topsy-turvy nature of this game, they pull back into the lead, and now with PL dead for 80 with no buyback, this is Roche easy for J.Storm.
Ron, he doesn't have buyback because he got a Basher, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
So now they have to give up. They have to give up Roshan. I think. Are they actually going to try and fight this 4 versus 5?
You are insane. They lose the Leshrac. Buyback on 2 more. Are they really going to try and keep taking this fight? PYW, Yule Scepter, lift up the chain frog. It's bouncing between 2. The Echo Slam catches them as well. And the buyback comes from the Lesh and from the Timber. Right now, they still have 40 seconds until the PL is back up. Bryo controlled. Can they kill him off in time? No, Moo jumps through, finds that with the Chakram, and now with ZYD right in, the BKB and the Cold Embrace means Bryo lives.
And they can still catch him. He can tornado if he hits it here, or just the cold snap. They're going to be able to slow down ZYT. He's not going to make it out of here. It was so close because of that Echo Slam. And then the follow-up pursuit onto Bryle. If they could have killed that Invoker, then maybe Serenity do actually stop this Roshan. But now, with just the 2 supports, yes, they are very slow at Roshing. There is no denying that. Whoa, the long Timber chain through, finds the Phoenix, and might be able to find the kill. All they need is the vision. They're going to bop the Supernova. Now it looks like the Run is going to try and go for the kill, but the Yule Scepter, it may just be enough. The Supernova explodes. They managed to keep the Phoenix alive.
They got him caught, and now the big bad man, the carry's here, PL TPing in. It's taken forever, but they're eventually going to be able to get him in. Can they use the mana burn that they need for trying to run away, but still, it's Moo who's just laying waste.
The Basher, it stops the BKB TP out from Forev. And now they're going to find Milan as well. Or surely they are. Maybe not. Actually, there's so many heroes still around that Phantom Lancer not feeling comfortable sticking up there. Gets back to his high ground. He's only got his Earthshaker. Winter's Curse onto the Earthshaker. Stops his initiation. He thought he was going to be able to create the chaos for the Phantom Lancer. Maybe he still will. The Earthshaker's almost immediately going to die manage to get the Yule Scepter off, but there's the instant damage out from the Chakram. They're trying to burn out Moo from everything he's got. He's still surviving somehow. Gets a lot of damage onto March before he finally falls to Roshan of all things. But now, Phantom Lancer is well and truly alone against 3 heroes of J.Storm. But I don't think they have the damage to Roshan.
This last 5 minutes has just been one extended team fight around Roshan. He's just been standing there looking at everybody. He even got in on the action, got a kill himself. But they do spot that J.Storm is moving into the pit now as they want to try and take this down. It's still such a long time until the rest of Serenity is here, though.
42 to 37, only 1,000 gold lead for J.Storm and the Phantom Lancer. He's going to try and throw some illusions here. ZYD is on the other side of the map. Didn't actually come straight to Roshan.
Oh, and now he's making the long run in. It's still just taking them so long, though, that even with the Chakram down and the Alacrity on top of them, they can keep sending in these PL illusions. Now with ZYD here, things get scary, but Mirana about to be back alive. They also are going to have the Phoenix soon. The only member of the teams that's going to be missing is next fight. They jump in, they find it, snatch the Aegis. ZYD takes it, even though the Radiant got the kill, and Moo is able to get away just barely for him. Trying to find this kill now, the Force Staff trying to keep alive ZZZ, but he is dead.
ZYD grabbing the Aegis, but their Phantom Lancer is the one who dies. They do have the buyback on him. They're not going to expend it just yet. They don't care about the Lich dying, of course. The important heroes got out. They got the Phoenix out of there, and they got ZYD's Leshrac. That fight was definitely saved by the fact that they walk away with the Aegis. It's still rough, though. J.Storm gonna get map control back, or gonna go back to sieging that high ground bit by bit.
I don't even know what to say about that whole engagement. Like, the decision to go in and contest Roche with just basically the two supports.
With guaranteed no Phantom Lancer, the 4 heroes going in, and then the 2 supports contesting Roshan as well. Serenity just judged this Roshan as being all important, and it was willing to risk the position that they were in, which was not a bad one, to make sure it didn't happen for J.Storm. They didn't get some of those critical items like the Aegis Cheese and that Refresher Shard.
Well, and again, there is buyback on this PL. They'd love to save it, but also if they could maybe bait J.Storm into a bad position, they could surprise buyback at this point. Moving in, PYW looking for his opening. The Echo Slam could be huge, but they want more damage coming in from the creeps, and he has to use that Enchant Totem. So no Shadow Blade, no surprise jump as of yet. And they're still just going to wait for that PL as long as possible. They're not going to give up the second lane of Barracks. Does not look like, or even the first, really. March, there's going to be the Yule Scepter lift up. Timbersaw jumps through, trying to bring them low. The BKB is already out. It's a low combo now. And with the heals coming in, that probably should stop the combo, although, oh, nope, able to dodge those.
I thought they were actually going to go back in, because as soon as ZYD pops his BKB, it's a short BKB duration with the Winner's Curse. Like, then the Leshrac is completely exposed at that point. But with the Phantom Lancer coming back, J.Storm, err on the side of caution here. They have some very critical items coming in. They've got a level 25 talent for the Invoker, but also these multiple scythe devices.
84 kills right now. Actually, I can't do math. 81 kills right now in 49 minutes.
49 minutes? That's absurd.
They have just, again, been buying
so
back.
They've got Scythe on Moo. They have, do they have the Scythe on Bryle's Invoker as well? Because that...
Not yet.
He did get it, right?
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
Is it on the courier? No? Okay, no, he doesn't.
He has a plate mail instead.
Okay.
I mean, this is the thing that's so nuts about it, is the team fights can change so drastically. Like, the Aghanim's done for the Earthshaker now as well. It's going to be incredibly chaotic as they set up in the mid lane by where the tier 2 used to be, looking for that opening up on the high ground. The supports are there. They catch 2 in the tornado. The follow-up could be there from J.Storm if they decide to get it, but there's going to be the Enchant Totem. He jumped into the rest of his team with the Witcher's Curse. Can they control him? Can they kill him? No, the Supernova is already off, and March trying to run away. They are going to be able to burn through the Aegis the first time, and that's Phoenix dead as well. They were able to burn through it. No Earthshaker, no Phoenix, chasing forward for more. J.Storm smell blood.
Oh my god, ZYD saw so many heroes low, but he couldn't find them in time. He couldn't blink fast enough. They're going to run down the Lich eventually, but now it's just the 2 cores of Serenity. They're going to go for Milan first. They know how dangerous the Cold Embrace stalling out of these team fights with multiple heroes. He actually turns on a Brow, but the Tornado is going to be able to stop that instantly. Brow, so quick to be able to disengage from this, trying to throw out the Ice Path, but now he sees Ferev is low, and Ferev only has 1 leap charge to work with. Fortunately, he has an Ace Rune, so he will be okay for now. The Phantom Lancer is going to have a tough time being able to keep up here. Moonlight Shadow going down. Serenity need to back up. They just need to buy a little bit more time. The Force Staff forward. Good play by the Lich, making sure that Phantom Lancer gets away from some of this chip damage of Moo.
The bash, it comes through, draining the mana, but Moo, he has that extra long Timber Chain with the level 25 talent, and Bryle still there to play safety blanket for Moo. Now, with 44 seconds, no Leshrac, 27 seconds until Earthshaker is back up. What can J.Storm get done? These buildings
They're
are
so
just not
bad at
dying.
hitting buildings. They're so bad at hitting. Their lineup is just bad at it. It's unbelievable that it's taken this long for them to even look at a Rax. And even still, with the Manta side device popped, but they have that Force Staff to be able to get away. They just don't have the damage to really threaten this Phantom Lancer just yet.
And here he comes, Forev, the man with the mission, needing to finally take down that first set of Rax, as Moo also is going to escape. Can breathe a sigh of relief, at least for the moment, for J.Storm.
He's like, screw you guys. And this whole side device on Phantom Lancer thing.
PYW. But he ends up jumping away. The blink out in time with the extra long fissure trying to chase. The Force Staff is going to be there. Do they have the Sheep Stick, the full combination? The Cataclysm is down, but the Supernova out as well. They're draining the mana of March, but it's the real carries that they need to focus. And they're all getting away.
PYW might be able to catch up. He does have that Blink Aghanim Scepter duo that gives him so much mobility, but his team gives up on it. They don't want to enter into that dangerous high ground. There's a lot of choke points fighting up against both the Timbersaw and the Invoker that have so much AoE damage, but it looks like maybe PYW went a little bit too far forward, a little bit too separated from his team. Moo's trying to catch him right now, but it is a tanky Earthshaker, and again, you get him out of he gets out of your hands for just a moment, you're gonna blink, you're gonna enchant totem, leap away. There's so much mobility to this hero now.
Well, and again, this game is not letting us take a moment to reset at all because they just keep going. But
if he gets the Aghanim Scepter, it would help a lot for doing damage to this Phantom Lancer. He just needs more damage to lay in those momentary times where they do have a Scythe of Ice disable, or they have like the Tornado into some guaranteed damage on the PL.
So 48, 40, and with Aegis, looks like it's still a little while before it's capable of respawning. Or rather, Roshan is capable of respawning.
Oh. Gabe, you've got a really important level on a support coming up. Milan, level 25, Winter Wyvern, Splinter Blast stun would be massive against this PL, right? He doesn't care at that point. He just throws it anywhere on any of the illusions. He's gonna hit that real PL, stall him up for a little bit, maybe set his team up. Even just slowing down the damage is gonna be really helpful.
Definitely. That's and also it's like all the little things, breaking the Blink Dagger of PYW. Granted, he does still have that Ags, but things are going to get testy here as we get closer and closer to those levels. And, well, a lift up with the Tornado.
Brown did go for that Radial, definitely Blast. Give him a bit better control for this Phantom Lancer.
And an Ags on Lich.
Oh, dude, you saw the way that when they were targeting that Supernova, the Winter Wyvern as well as the Mirana, they didn't care about the Chain Frost. They were so focused on the Supernova, but they almost both died to a Chain Frost. So if he had Aghanim Scepter in that situation, I think they actually legit both would have died, and they would have lost the team fight despite killing the Supernova. So this is not the most absurd pickup in the world.
And the other thing about it, too, is it's just like the constant movement. It's low BKBs now. Normally, you don't think about the amount of damage that it does late game, but it is quite the thing. And now the Hex on to 1. He's still fine for the moment, able to turn it back around, but the Winter's Curse is down already, not doing the damage they need. The BKB out, the Hex is also there, and Forev trying to deal the damage on a PYW. He's stunned forever, but gets the Eul Scepter lift up. They need to take down this egg in time. It gets the bash! They find it, the Abyssal Blade came out there. They're able to find the kill onto that Mirana.
Oh, I can't believe the Phantom Lancer got there in time to be able to get that Abyssal Blade active. And that turned things around significantly. Still trying to get this Lich kill of all heroes. Brown trying to run away from that Phantom Lancer. He needs to stay out of his grasp.
They got him all! Oh my god, and Moo now trying to run away from them. Can they take him down in time? He's just got the Timber Chain though. He can get the heck out of there so quickly. But it was Bryle dying on the other side. Oh.
31,000 net worth on this Timbersaw. You're getting completely 6 slotted. They're gonna try and make sure that Serenity can do Roshan while this Phantom Lancer is down. Just control that Roshan pit. I honestly don't think Serenity can afford to just rush into that pit anyway. They've got to push out their side lanes. They've just got to try and get a little bit of vision around that Roshan pit as well.
Well, and the Aghanims is done now for the Timbersaw. We're going to see the 40 strength again picked up
Nice.
by the Ogre, the perennial nice. And with approaching the hour mark, I don't know, I think this is the longest game that we've seen so far at the tournament.
Can we go back through, cycle through some of the items on these heroes? Because I want to make sure, because we've had so many fights back to back to back. So Lotus Orb, Aeon Disc, Wyvern, we got that level 25, so we have the Splinter Blast stun. Moo.
Oh, stunned there as well with the bash. The Abyssal comes out, the active, they're trying to tear him down. He's only down to half HP, and at the end, that's not enough.
It's free poke damage, right? Like, you probably don't think you're actually going to kill that Timbersaw, but it may force J.Storm to be able to react in a bad way, or maybe you get crazy bashes. You actually get a bash while he tries to Timber Chain out, and you get even more time to do damage to him.
And that level 25 talent for Lich now, giving the 30 regen on the Ice Armor.
I mean, this Phantom Lancer was already tough to deal with, right? Like, they only have so much damage to lay into him. Now, with the heart as well as that Ice Armor.
Well, not just that, the building's regen. This is already hard enough.
Oh, Milan. He's trying to get in position. They cannot afford to lose this Winter Wyvern. His Winter's Curse is everything, as well as that Splinter Blast. But in the back lines with the Scythe of Ice onto that Phoenix, they might be able to catch him here. It's actually the Earthshaker with that meatball. They're going to be able to blow him up. The Supernova right inside the pit, though.
And they're looking for this follow-up damage now coming out as the PL jumps back inside of that pit. They got Brile caught for the moment. Can they bring him down time? They're able to find him with the batch, trying to drain through his mana. Brile controlled. Is he going to be killed? Yes, indeed. GGZ finds his man, takes him down as they move back in towards Roach. The late, but didn't get him out of there in time.
And he has no mana either. They're still going to be able to pursue him as the Phantom Lancer is just looking to run down all of these heroes. The buyback from the Invoker. He needs to be able to provide the space for Phareth. They managed to get a cold embrace, but now the Winter Wyvern. He's been bashed up. Milan's going to die soon, but he managed to get away with the Moonlight Shadow. Fortunately, Invis helping him out, but it doesn't get Phareth out, and he has no buyback for 2 minutes.
In trouble right now, but they do still have that Earthshaker Dead March trying to run away, and the Timbersaw making whatever space he can, but he's also going to be controlled. He's caught with that sheep, and
they
now
need to go for
who's calling
ZYD.
the who?
Ignore the Phantom Lancer as best you can. Make sure you take out that Leshrac. He's the easiest target, and just continue to stable and kite this Phantom Lancer as best you can.
And Brile controlling him for all that he's worth. Lich is still alive. He can throw back on the Ice Armor if he wants and burns through another bash, another hit. Brile in trouble. A quarter HP left, but he is walking away. And it looks like yet again, Serenity not able to fully take down their targets.
He's back with a vengeance here. He knows he can just catch any of these heroes. They don't have the BKB with the haste rune. He should be able to do it. Winter's Curse looking to be able to disengage and now throwing up the ZYD Leshrac into the air. They're actually going for the kill here. Force Staff from the Lich will get him out of that dangerous double Chakram combo.
And that was that moment where it definitely could have been a kill too. No BKB left on that Leshrac.
Yeah.
They need those Force Staffs. This is where the game becomes that much more chaotic.
Hey, right as you say it, look at that.
Yeah.
Marge picks up a Force Staff too. They know how important it is. They're trying to kite the Phantom Lancer and kill like the Leshrac, kill the Earthshaker, the Phoenix, these big like team fight. And they do a decent amount of damage, but they're so much easier to kill than the Phantom Lancer. And then on the other side of things, you've got Serenity. The Phantom Lancer is just trying to run down the Invoker as much as possible because this Quas Wex Invoker with the EMP burning out his mana, it's beginning to cause some issues for the PL as these fights really stretch out.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you can't just wait around for Arcane Boots to come off cooldown. The game becomes that much more difficult, and needing maybe even a mana regen item at this point, or just to be able to take the fights a little bit slower.
And the Invoker, he's the one with all the kiting spells, right? He's got the Deafening Blast that hits, you as well as all your illusions. He's got the Ice Wall that he's laying down. He's got the Tornado EMP. He's got like so many of these disables just to be able to buy time. That's why he's always trying to focus this Invoker first. Then the other one is going to be the Mirana, because the damage to tank ratio is very in favor of you just killing him as soon as possible, because he is your primary source of physical damage.
Everybody alive. Questionable about the buybacks as they throw out that tornado right from the get-go. March there as well. Yule Scepter lift up, still fine for the moment. PYW looking for his opening. They find the Winter's Curse, but it's on illusion. They did not hit the real PL, and now he can go to work, although he does get hexed. And now seeing if they can chase for more. They have the egg down. They want to burn through it forever. Trying to do it, see if they can happen. They do get it. Die back on the Phoenix, and now finding more. The jump in, the dunk. PYW caught him.
Now Bryle trying to get away with his BKB. He knows he just needs to be able to poke at Serenity. He's their only hope for being able to just defend this Roshan as best as possible because Moo, he's going to be caught on the other side of the river. Managed to get a good tornado. Moo needs to try and get him to the high ground, but the trees are blocking him. He couldn't even kill ZYD in the backline zone. Bryle trying to go for the ledge. Now he's in position. He gets Echo Slammed. The Cold Embrace is only delaying the inevitable. In fact, they're going to clean up the Winter Wyvern. Turn back to Bryle. He's dead as well. 4 down. 4 who do not have buyback. The Timbersaw will be up in just 15 seconds, so he is fine, but Serenity, they may look at this and go, who gives a damn about Roshan? Let's just try and push into the high ground.
Unbelievable performance right there. And you take a look at it, the PO picking up that Orchid right before the fight started, was able to hit it onto Bryle after they jump in. When all this chaos is going on, there's no way you're checking items. They find it, they take down now the tier 2 tower, and can they actually end the game? It's all on Moo at this point for at least another 20 seconds.
And another one of the big things, small thing, but GGG threw his illusions on the Winter's Curse Leshrac, blocking an arrow. Right? That was so massive because they could have actually taken the Leshrac almost instantly out of the team fight, but his very heads-up play is what defends against the initiation of J.Storm or prevents them from getting a really easy start to the team fight. Now they're going to go on for Moo with that Bloodthorn. Moo in big-time trouble. Fortunately, he does have that Lotus Orb. He needs that long Timber Drain away back to the fountain. He just bought a little bit more time for his allies. But still, this Phantom Lancer just keeps marching forward, and ZYD pushing in that bottom lane. They're going to have 2 lanes of racks here pretty quick.
They catch him right as he's in the middle of this Timber Chain. Moo caught yet again. Can they jump forward and find him? He's hexed. He's caught. The arrow comes in. It is going to connect. The Earthshaker is stunned, but it doesn't look like it's quite going to matter. Moo again hitting the deck. Does have buyback. They're actually buying the time for the rest of their heroes to get into this fight.
ZYD, he's going to go down. He doesn't have the BKB to defend himself. As they start losing some of these team fight heroes, the Phantom Lancer is going to feel uncomfortable going for the lane of racks and now has to start retreating. Moo, Chakram out, trying to slow down this Phantom Lancer. They can manage to get him with a Scythe. He doesn't have a whole lot of mana to work with either. The Mirana might be able to burn through the rest of this with the arrow landing on him. They're going to be able to focus down. The Echo Slam's not going to stop the damage. PYW, now he will die as well. And in turn, now it's going to be Serenity who will be forced into buybacks.
That was unbelievable. 4 times multicast at the last second on the PL, and now moving into Roche. This is what they've been battling about the entire game, and nobody still took it in that last engagement.
I mean, they just got themselves an advantage by forcing out the buyback from J.Storm, but they threw it away by forcing the fight too hard into the enemy base. They got baited in by Moo, who knew he had buyback. He was okay with dying there. He was just trying to buy more time for his allies. But this Moonlight Shadow, it finds the initiation. They might be able to blow up this Phoenix, an important team fight hero, the Winter's Curse, into maybe an arrow. That looks like maybe a mistake. They need to be able to finish him off, but now he's got the reliable time to get out.
And again, the initiation, they find themselves Moo. Can they bring him down? The Radial Deafening Blast. The egg is out also. The Chain Frost bouncing back and forth. Bryle able to get away. PYW again not quite finding his opening, but now they've caught themselves yet another. The Bloodthorn down. It's one of the tanky Ogre. Is not the most important of heroes, but he too will die. And Serenity managed to force out more buybacks. Fissure not connecting. In the chaos that's ensuing from this game, it's getting kind of sloppy, but what might also happen is
right as they stop with the Timber Chain, they might just be able to kill Moo. They know he doesn't have buyback. He just used it. It would be a monster kill in the back lines. Bryle, he tries to throw it to the Tornado. They're going to try and rescue this Timbersaw with the Cold Embrace, with the Tornado, but it's just not going to be enough. Forev, he tries to go for the Lich, won't be able to find the damage there, and the Phantom Lancer, he sees that big damage dealer. He knows he can hunt down Forev. Forev popping the BKB, trying to get out with the leaps, the Force Staffs, anything they can to be able to disengage.
And March caught yet again, but it is going to be 3 heroes now dead without buyback, it looks like. They did it before, it was with Moo. Bryle needs to do it now, but the Echo Slam! They got him caught yet again! He's gonna be controlled if they find the bash. Where's the detection? He's able to get away for the moment. Still living.
Doesn't hit the split earth either. Unbelievable. Bryle somehow gets out. Again, 40 seconds for the Timbersaw. They need his damage, but these two might be able to stall.
56 to 56. We've come back full circle as the Cataclysm almost just eliminates the Lich there. They
Oh, look at the base! Look at the base! The Mirana! Frev, he went for the throne, and that is enough to be able to force the rotation back. That may have just bought them the game.
Marana with the big plays time and again. Frev has done this for all of the different teams he's played in. It is still at least going to be a barracks down. We see a heart now on the Lich, realizing he needs to survive in these fights.
Dude,
but
that totally saved them so many racks, right? Because Frev is the one who's doing all the physical damage. That's a very heads-up play from ZYD just going like, or excuse me, from Frev going in and forcing ZYD to TP back. Just honestly, that was so important. Still, Serenity should be able to get Roshan, should be able to get Aegis Cheese. They'll have this big advantage, but J.Storm, I mean, they can reset and just play for high ground defense, force this Aegis team to try and push into them.
These teams have been going from minute one, it feels like, and now 65 minutes into it with the next Roche going down, I believe either number 4 or 5 at this point. They still have the Refresher Shard. They don't even know who to throw it on.
They're like, who gets the cheese? Who gets these extra items? Refresher Shard for the Phoenix, really helpful, especially since he's got the level 25 talent. The +3 Supernova hit count means that it was already tough to kill that egg. Now, those extra 3 hits can make the difference between life or death.
Alone. The Hex coming out. Ooh, good blink away.
J.Storm needs to be careful being outside of their base in any way because there's so much catch and pursuit from Serenity that a hero, like even just losing this Wyvern, would feel terrible.
Oh, able to get away there. Glimmer Cape stopping.
So important to go invis there because the way the Phantom Lancer can just chase you down even after you blink with a Phantom Rush. But once he loses sight of you,
no longer the case. So shrines are finally going to get taken now. And it does sort of beg the question, though, what do you actually do with this Aegis? I mean, how do you try to assault the next round of the base of J.Storm? Buyback's still not online, but it looks like they're just going to walk down from the start.
I mean, they have a hard time killing Phantom Lancer once, so they can very easily just throw him up on the high ground. He can start threatening buildings. I think with an Aegis, they've got a very clear plan to be able to start chipping away at barracks. Now, J.Storm, it's almost like more important that they burn the mana of the Phantom Lancer than burning through his HP because obviously he's so hard to kill and they just don't have enough damage oftentimes that burning through his mana and just forcing Serenity to back up may be a better idea for them.
Did PL, he went for the 25, the damage talent as well, didn't he? Because I don't think that he would have the...
No, he's definitely got the doppelganger. Okay. He has to because of all these various like AoE damage, like he has to be able to get out of, as well as the kiting mechanisms of the Phantom Lancer.
I mean, it makes sense. That's sort of what you have to do with this guy. One of the best talents in the game. There's a DD bottom. Almost feels like it doesn't matter in this instance. The Octarine core picked up late game for this Lesh. And even though there are illusions in the air, the real PL feet firmly planted on the ground as he continues
real
the pressure.
Quick, he went for the Winter's Curse duration over the Splinter Blast stun. I'm not fully convinced that was actually the play, but if Milan gets the right Winter's Curse, it guaranteed kills somebody, right?
Yeah. There is the Hex to start it off. Burning through the mana of the PL, Cold Snap on top of him, down to half HP, PYW in position as well to open up if he finds a chance for the Echo Slam. But even at this point, it's feeling like that amount of damage, even if there's a full creep wave, might not be enough. They can still slowly siege, but...
I can't believe the kill score is even right now. 56 to 56, a 70-minute game, and it does feel like the game is almost dead even. Serenity certainly have the advantage because of the fact they have this Aegis Cheese Refresher Shard, but Bryle still has his buyback, and that is probably one of the many things on the mind of Serenity when they're thinking about poking at this high ground.
And another lift up as well. I mean, as you mentioned earlier, you sort of...
There's that Winter's Curse!
Caught him there as well, and starting to drop down low. Leshrac is eventually going to be able to walk away. Oh, the Cataclysm down! Is it going to be enough? They blow him up! ZYD dead, and can they find any more doppelgangers?
They got them both caught! The Chain Frost!
They got them both killed off! Serenity, have you done it?
How did it go from so good to so bad all at once? What a beautiful initiation. Brow pushing back as they try to get the enchant totem landed. Rev does get stunned up, but Phantom Lancer's already given up on the kill. He sees the opportunity to go for objectives right now.
Leshrac is buying back into this game. No Timbersaw, no Ogre. They buy the Refresher Shard, or Refresher Orb rather, on the Invoker. And actually he ends up finding the gold now for the buyback.
Earthshaker trying to hide inside the trees here. Blinks out of there a little bit scared. They managed to get a lot of damage there. The Phantom Lancer aren't going to be able to burn him out. That's going to be his first life down.
Refresher Orb pretty freaking good in that instance right there. And they have taken him down once, as you said. Can they do it again? Hex down at least from the beginning. The jump in though, PYW has Bryle. He needs to walk away from them though for the moment. They got him there, caught and controlled. They can't bring down Moo on the side, but Neil, PYW, making all the space for his team to try and clean it up. Being able to survive with the Eul Scepter. There's gonna be the Supernova down. The Chain Frost goes out again. It wasn't able to do all the damage they need, but they were able to find the bash on Moo as he went through with the Timber Chain. And now the focus onto the buildings.
Winter's Curse. That may just be the kill on a ZYD with a Force Staff. They're trying to take away their items into the backpack as well, but the Cataclysm helps finish him off. Now the Deafening Blast, but Phantom Lancer, he sees the opportunity to get the Orchid onto Bryle. Lotus Orb is going to be able to buy in something, but they just can't do it. The Cold of Brace doesn't save Bryle's life, and now it's just the Mirana as well as the Winter Wyvern trying to hold. Surely Serenity are at least going to get Mega Creeps out of this.
This is unreal. They've been able to pull it back from the depths. Serenity, after being behind for so long, and now starting to pull ahead with only a couple more racks. It's oh my god! He got it though! Oh, so close to tragedy.
All right, they just got to give up Mega Creeps. I don't think they should risk this Divine Rapier. They can deal with Megas. I swear they can, but they're going to try and go for the quick assassination. And they got him. Fire Blast, Arrow, but the Force Staff, they have to disengage. They realize they just don't have the damage to do it fast enough. Milan trying to get away, flying over the trees, will be able to escape. March. He's going to give up his life here potentially to try and force some sort of fight. The Enchant Totem is going to land on him once again. Cold Embrace buys him a little bit more time. Neil, PYW almost dies to Farab.
And now seeing if they can take down this PL. It's so difficult to do the down damage that they need to, but they're trying to focus him off to the side here. Can they kill him off in time? All these illusions are so tanky though. It's an impossibility.
But they still survive. That's the only thing that matters. Even Mega Creeps. Like, yes, it's a huge advantage for Serenity, but the game is not over yet. Timbersaw, 5 seconds. You've got the Invoker back up in 20. They're going to buy back on the Ogre right now. They will hold and push this game just a little bit farther. They're still in this finals.
This is unbelievable. Serenity on the verge of becoming the first WSOE champions, and J.Storm are just not letting it end. They are pulling it together with just pure force of will. At first it was Moo alone against the entire team, and now it was again Farev pulling him back here and picking up that rapier.
So many items that they want to be able to complete still. Octarine for the Timbersaws, what he's looking at. They still need a Moonshard for this Divine Rapier. Mirana of Farev's. Serenity, they're in a great spot right now. They've got Mega Creeps. Their buybacks are coming back up. They know they've forced J.Storm to use some of their buybacks. It becomes a little bit of a risk. They don't have a buyback on ZYD, but honestly, if Serenity were to smoke up in like 60 seconds or so and just go for it, I would not blame them one bit.
It's the scary part though too, because if you do lose it, we know how much physical damage is waiting on that Mirana.
Just look at the way the PRW is playing these team fights, though. He's playing so far forward because of that Aghanim Scepter and because the Aeon Disc. He's just trying to create chaos so the Phantom Lancer can kill whatever heroes on the front line.
And here on the front line right now is Moo, but also is Milan, Invis, waiting for their opening. Now they are smoked up. They reveal the Phoenix. There's the Winter's Curse right from the get-go, but it's not looking like it's quite enough. They can go for the Cataclysm play afterwards if they want to, and they're going to try to time it perfectly, but the Aeon Disc procs right as it was coming through. The lift up onto ZYD, Moo trying to do what they can. They have Hexed on one up in the front line, but there's going to be the Supernova out, and there's going to be the Radial Deafening Blast. Needing to run, needing to hide, needing to get away as the Chain Frost starts to bounce. The Cold Break with the Echo Slam. Yet again, can they follow it up though? It's not looking like it's quite enough with that Sun Ray coming through and healing everybody up. Serenity feel like they they might finally be on the verge of doing it.
But they're getting kited so much, the double ice walls as well as being able to play off a fountain regen. On top of that, they just can't kill this Timber side. Keeps on getting cold embrace. PYW almost dying there, managed to get the Yule Scepter off. He still ends up falling in. Phantom Lancer has to retreat out. Phantom rushing, using the creeps to try and get away, but Forev, he smells blood in the water. He needs this carry down. Managed to get the tornado to stall him up a little bit longer. Gets the stun on his ZYT. He's now dead. Oh, Phantom Lancer's trying to get away. Still, he managed to Phantom rush a little bit farther away. Doppelganger out. Milan hot on his tail. Finally, he turns, tries to go for the kill on Milan because he knows he is dead. He cannot finish this game yet. J.Storm hold for the second time now.
2 minutes left before this PL is going to be able to be back on the map. He can buy back still, but this is that moment when you need to be able to push down a lane and make something happen. Again, 61-61 kill score in this insane game that we've been watching for the past 75 minutes. Bots level 2 on Mirana. But again, it's so you have to be so trepidatious about it, because if you push forward too far, you're just going to get backdoored.
If J.Storm, it's such a hard dance to pull off here. They've got to push out their side lanes while simultaneously barreling down mid to force out a buyback of the Phantom Lancer. Actually, Roshan on top, I didn't even notice that. So that is good enough, honestly. You win that kind of small fight, you're going to be able to get Aegis Cheese, Refresher Shard, back to your base. You're going to have to go back to your base just because the side lanes push in so quickly. So you're not going to be able to force that buyback out of the Phantom Lancer, I don't think, because that would just be the most YOLO move of all time. Just a run down mid.
Are they thinking about it?
As soon as possible.
I mean, again, maybe a little bit of talking.
45 seconds. Just think about the hard initiation that Serenity has. You get hit by the right Echo Slam, Phantom Lancer buys back, you're probably caught and you're probably done for.
And they might not know that PL has buyback too. With how crazy this game has gone, it's such a big risk, but it looks like they're at least going to tempt fate. 25 seconds until PL is back up.
Look at that regen happening on the tier 4.
Oh, God.
Lich realizes he's like, they could actually make a play for Throne if they get the right kind of team fight.
And this is the other impossibility of this position. You've got these tier 4 towers that have the 30 regen per second.
The time has passed, obviously. Phantom Lancer up in 5 seconds. They were really hoping to be able to catch Serenity off guard. A hero sitting a bit too forward on that high ground gets caught by Winter's Curse into an arrow or something like that. Something just to force the buyback out of Phantom Lancer before they get out. But Serenity holds strong.
8,000 gold lead, even though it doesn't matter at this point in the game. All that matters is that initiation and the buybacks and the way that they organize themselves.
Winter's Curse lasts 7 seconds. He's got 2 of them with Refresher Shard. They ran into ZYD.
Arrow comes out. They got him at least from the get-go, and actually going to be able to taunt that Phoenix. So the second one can come out in a second if they want to use it. The Cataclysm down as well. It's not going to really do all that much. Bryo controlled for the moment by that PL, forced to pop the BKB. Radial Deafening Blast out as well, trying to run away from him. The Tornado gets the lift up. They're trying to disengage, and at least for now, the only one left to the side is Moo. If they lose Moo here, this would be tragic, and he does look like he is going to go down for the first time. No buyback, 70 seconds.
Fred's burned out.
They've got him caught. Cold Embrace trying to live.
He doesn't have the mana. He's not going to be able to leap away instantly. Fred may die. Here's the Echo Slam follow up. Fred somehow still alive and sliver of HP. They can't let him get back to the fountain. They need to be able to take this Divine Rapier away, but they just can't do it. So instead, they're going to focus on the rest of these heroes. They've already got 2 down. We'll be able to get a beautiful Fissure. That's going to make sure that Winter Wyvern falls as well. Cataclysm out. Supernova down. They're going to go straight for the throne, but the glyph was still up. J.Storm still had that in their back pocket. They're going to be able to play this fight out still.
Looking for that opening now. The Ancient being assaulted. They need to take it down as quickly as possible, but if they only focus it, then you might end up jumping in with the Mirana and killing everybody off. Moo trying to control. Can they bring him down in time? Ancient down to about a 1/3 HP left now. They're trying to kill him off, but he's almost dead. He doppelgangers to the other side. PYW jumps in. If he can get a last couple hits, the Ancient, it's going to fall. Serenity take the game.
Serenity finish it off, and just the clutchest little bit of HP was left on the throne. The explosion, the level 25 of the last track, the last doppelganger play with like 100 HP on the Phantom Lancer, gets a couple more shots. Even the enchant totem hits from that Earthshaker. Every little bit contributes to Team Serenity's win here in WSOE #1.
Unbelievable performance there, and it's so rarely seen, the adulation coming out. These guys so happy with their results in this game. Team Serenity leaving their mark on Vegas.